Yo, what's up my people? Thank you very much for checking on us today and welcome back to my subscribers and welcome to new ones. If you like what you see so far on this my channel, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also click on that subscribe icon below and hit that bell notification icon so you will be notified whenever time I upload a video to YouTube, right? So in this video we're going to talk about 11 tips and tricks that will help you to kind of pass FTMO challenge and the verification process successfully, right? Because recently I started the challenge and I passed the verification process as well. If you've not watched those videos that I made, I'll put a link or card right here so you can just click on it and watch those videos, then come back to this video and continue watching, right? So yeah, my name is Israel the Trader and I trade forex. So thank you very much for checking on us today. Without further ado, let's go to Highball, where I'm going to share with you these 11 tips and tricks of how you can pass your FTMO challenge and verification process successfully. So let's go there, guys. Okay guys, as you can see, here we go now on your Highball, where I'm going to give you 11 tips and tricks of how you can pass this FTMO challenge, right? And as you can see, how to pass FTMO challenge. So yeah, the first on the list is what I call risk management, right? So the first one is risk management. So under this risk management, we're trying to have like subtopics or subheadings where I'm going to show you exactly what a risk management is, right? So under this risk management, what we are going to be having right here is what we call risk to reward ratio. So risk to reward ratio. So we'll have risk to reward ratio, and also we'll have like your risk 0.5% of your FTMO account, right? Risk 0.5% of your FTMO account. So the first one is risk management, second risk to reward ratio, third is risk 0.5% of your FTMO account, right? Then right here, what do I mean by risk to reward ratio? Let's take for example that you are going for you are risking about 30 pips. So let's say we are risking 30 pips per each trade that we are getting in, right? Then for these 30 pips, what is supposed to be our take profit? Let's say if our take profit is 30 pips as well, you know that is 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? Of which you can't be profitable trading forex market if you are just going for at least 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That's not gonna happen, and it won't be a profitable way of trading if you just kind of stick to this kind of trading plan, right? So the least that you can go for is at least 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. So let's take for example that if we are risking about 30 pips, our take profit is definitely supposed to be about 60 pips. So this is what we call 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, right? So this is 1-to-2. So this is the least that you can go for. Of course, you can still go for 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5, 1-to-6, etc., right? But the least that you can go for is 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. Never go for 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Since we already know that, okay, we are supposed to go for at least 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, then we should mark this out, right? Then coming down, risk 0.5% of your FTMO account. Let's say for example that we are going for $100 account challenge or $10,000, right? But let's just assume that we are going for a 100K account. So if we are going for 100K accounts, you know that 1% of this account, it is about 1K. That's the 1%. It is 1K. So 0.5% of this particular account, it is what we call 0.5. It is $500. So 0.5 of this 100K account, it is $500, right? And this is zero. Since we know that this is 0.5, and we are supposed to be risking 0.5 on our $100,000 account, right? Since we are risking 0.5, and if our risk ratio it is 1-to-2, then definitely our final take profit is going to be 1% of our FTMO account size. So it's going to be 1% of our FTMO account size, right? Then if we are making 1% on each trade that we are taking, let's say for example that we took about 5 or 6 trades in a row, and 2 of them hit stop loss. If 2 of them hit stop loss, you know that you will just be losing about 1% of the account. That's about 1k. And if 4 of them hit take profit, definitely that's going to be about 2% of your account, and that's 2k. So you see, despite the fact that you had a stop loss here and things like that, you are still profitable in the forex market, right? So that's what I mean by risk ratio and risk 0.5% of your FTMO account size, right? Then the next thing that we are supposed to look at is we are supposed to be compounding along the way. So the next thing that we are supposed to look at is compounding. So bear in mind that I gave you 3 tips now. Remember about 8 tips, right? So the 4th one is compounding. What we call by compounding. But before you start compounding on your account, what you're supposed to look out for is know how exactly the market is moving. Is the market moving a high, low, low? That's an uptrending market. Is the market moving lower, lower, high, lower, high? That's a downtrending market. Is the market moving lower, high, lower, high, low? That's a ranging market. So that's what we are supposed to keep at the back of our mind, right? If the market is an uptrending market, let's say for example that the market is moving like this, right? High, low, high, low, isn't it? This is how an uptrending market moves, right? So then we'll plot our trend line like this. Then where are we supposed to start looking out for the buy? We are supposed to buy right here. This is the first touch. If you like to get into the market early, you're supposed to look out for buying opportunities right here. And right at this point, me personally, I look out for some sort of price action signals, either come to some candlestick patterns that will tell me, okay, there is a rejection to the downside, or exhaustion candles. There's something that we call exhaustion candles, and there's something that we call rejection candles. We have to be, keep all these things at the back of our mind so that we can know exactly that we are trading price action at naked chart, right? So right here we are supposed to look out for the buying opportunities, and right here we are supposed to plot our trend line like this. Of course, this is not going to be smooth because right here it is just, we are just sketching it and things like that, right? So right here it is our resistance line, right? And as you can see that in an uptrending market, resistance turned to support, right? This was our former resistance line, and right here it has turned to support. Then after you get an entry point right at this point, you are supposed to add more positions right here. But remember, your first set profit, you are going to be targeting this previous resistance level, right? There's a reason for that. Then after you know that, okay, this is your previous resistance line, then your first take profit should be right at this point. After you take your first take profit, then the second thing that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to watch out for this retracement. Once it retraces to these points, then you add more lot sizes. So that's compounding. Remember, this is your first position and this is your second position, right? So that's how you compound whenever time you are in a trade and you're trying to utilize or take advantage of that particular opportunity that you have in the market, right? This is your first position and you compound, you added more position at the retracement. Bear in mind, you're supposed to look out for price action signals right here so that you can know that, okay, the market is actually going to go in your direction, right? Then the next thing that you're supposed to do is your next target is going to be right here at your resistance line. If the market break out of it and go to the upside, then wait for another retracement to come down, retrace to this your previous resistance line, because in an uptrending market, resistance is turning to support. Resistance is turning to support in an uptrending market. Just take note of that. In an uptrending market, right? Then you're supposed to add more lot sizes right here as well to ride it for the next higher high. Bear in mind that this is the lower high. This is what we call a high low. This is your higher high, and this is your high low, which is a retracement for a uptrending market, right? And this is your higher high, this is your higher low, and this is another higher high. Then that's how and uptrending market moves, and that's how you can take advantage by compounding on your account, right? So that's all about compounding if you're trying to kind of grow or pass your FTMO challenge, right? Then the next thing is stick to your trading plan. Always, once you got a working strategy, just stick to it. Don't just go off of your strategy or try to test some things on your FTMO account, right? No, don't ever do that. Just stick to your trading plan, and before you get into the trade, at least this is the sixth one. At least look out for trading confluences. Trading confluences. So try and look out for trading confluences. At least me personally, I go for 4 to 5 signal confluences. That's how I call it. 4 to 5 signal confluences. So what are those 45 signal confluences? I do teach to my students as well, but let me just give you about maybe 1 or 2 out of these 5, right? So I look out for candlestick patterns. That's the first thing. And key levels. That's the second thing. So yeah, I've shared 2 now with you. Candlestick patterns, and your key levels, So these are the signal confluences that you're supposed to be looking at for whenever time you're trying to get into any trade. It mustn't be just to pass FTMO challenge, right? You can be trading on your live account, and you're supposed to look out for some sort of key levels first before you get into any particular trade in the forex market, right? And the 7th one that I'm going to be sharing with you is don't overtrade. Never overtrade on your account. Don't overtrade. Do not overtrade or don't overtrade. Never do that. Don't overtrade on your account. What do I mean by don't overtrade? Because a lot of people, they'll just get into to a trade with maybe 5 standard lot size, 10, 50, and things like that, because they want to just pass the FTMO challenge very quick, right? Like I've said earlier, all that if you make about 1%, okay, that's another tip, right? So yeah, don't overtrade. And the 8th tip that I'm about to share with you is at least make 1% of your account size every day. So at least, since you are risking 0.5%, at least make 1% of your account size every day. So 1% is about 1K. But if you cannot just be making 1K every day, at least make 0.5% of your account size. That's about $500 every day. Then in 20 days, you'll be finished with your FTMO challenge. So if you are making $500 every day, definitely multiply by 20. This is going to give us about $10,000. So it's going to give us about $10,000, and you are done with your FTMO challenge. No need to rush things, guys. Just stick to your plan. Don't overtrade. At least make 1% of your account size, or if you cannot make it, just go for 0.5%. That's about $500, and if you multiply by 20, you are done with the FTMO challenge. And you know that they give you about 30 days for you to be able to pass this challenge, right? And in your verification process, you have about 60 days in order for you to pass the verification process, because they do give second chance for you to pass it as well, right? And if you are able to pass all these kind of things, the next thing or next tip that I'm about to share with you is don't be greedy in the market. Never. Don't be greedy. If you get your 0.5%, secure it. So secure it. Don't be greedy in the forex market. Greed is one of the challenge a lot of new traders are kind of passing through, right? Because if you are greedy, let's say for example that somebody plays for $500 or give you cash. So somebody give you $500 cash and you're seeing it. You are going to put it in your wallet, right? So if you reserve it or if you put it inside your wallet, definitely it's gonna be inside it, right? Nobody can take it again. So if you have $500 floating in your account as a profit, then you're supposed to secure this $500 and look out for some trade opportunities as well. So secure at least 0.5% of your account into your balance, right? Also, don't be greedy. Listen to these guys. Never be greedy in the forex market. When you lost a trade, please don't try to revenge. Never revenge on a trade. Don't revenge trading. So when you lost, just try and relax a bit. Relax, find a place, maybe if you like sleeping, because me personally, if I lost a trade, maybe a couple of them, 1 or 2, if I lost, I would just take my bed, sleep, relax, and come up again to analyze and figure out what exactly went wrong in order for me to lose that particular trade of which I lost it, right? So don't revenge trading. So the last tip now, but not least, the 11th tip that I'm about to share with you now is cut off the losing trade. So if you are in negative and some trades are in negative $100, negative 20, negative something like that, and some are positive like this, then try and cut off the negative ones and compound on the positive ones, right? Because they are already moving in your direction, and you're supposed to be compounding on them. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Those are the tips and tricks of how you can pass your FTMO challenge and verification process successfully. And just do me a favor, if you like what you're seeing right here, my mission right here is just to unlock the forex secret for you. As you usually know that my name is Israel the Trader and I trade forex. So please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's a way that you can show that, okay, we are supporting you on what you are doing here on YouTube, right? So give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever time we upload a video to YouTube. Also, just a reminder, please join our Telegram channel, because I do share 2 to 3 signals a week on my free Telegram channel, right? And also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, all my social media platforms. The links are going to be down in the description below. So thank you very much for watching. My name is still Israel the Trader, and I'll see you in our next YouTube video.